ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور داد باتورانو کور ساتوی پسرو وینو داد شهیدانو کور داد کور داد باتورانو.
Welcome. Thank you for watching English News Bulletin on RTA News with me, Suleiman Talash. Let's dive into today's news updates from the country and beyond. We begin with spokesman for the Islamic Emirate, Maulavi Zabihullah Mujahid, says Afghanistan has fulfilled its responsibility for border security with Tajikistan following Russian President Vladimir Putin's call for stability along the Tajik-Afghan border. Here is the rest of the story.
At a new conference following his visit to Tajikistan, Russian President Vladimir Putin said the Islamic Emirate is making every effort to stabilize and normalize the situation in Afghanistan.
The current Afghan government is working to stabilize the country. Many challenges remain, and Afghan leaders themselves acknowledge this. Security on the Tajik-Afghan border must be fully ensured.
However, Maulavi Zabihullah Mujahid stated that the border with Tajikistan is now fully secure and emphasized that both sides share the responsibility of maintaining its security.
There is no doubt that the country's borders are secure, particularly along the Tajikistan border. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan is paying close attention to this area, and both sides have responsibilities in maintaining security. We have fulfilled our part and will continue to prioritize border safety.
Experts believe that border security is a shared responsibility, and Afghanistan has now fulfilled its part in ensuring stability along the Tajik border.
Everyone has a responsibility to secure their own borders. We are not obligated to monitor the border of Tajikistan, Pakistan, Turkmenistan, or Iran.
Lately, when we followed the news and heard the views of different countries, there is actually no real problem. The confusion at the regional level, however, is the result of negative influences from neighboring countries aiming to portray Afghanistan in a bad light.
Russian President Vladimir Putin added that the Islamic Emirate has expressed its readiness to cooperate in various areas, including counterterrorism, during the second Russia-Central Asia Summit in Tajikistan. The Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan has consistently assured that the country's borders are secure and emphasized that Afghanistan poses no threat to regional or global security.
On the other hand, Education Minister Maulavi Habibullah has traveled to Kandahar province to assess the educational situation there. The ministry says that during the visit, the minister listened to the concerns of students and officials and emphasized improving the quality of religious schools, teacher training and dormitory conditions. On the other hand, Minister of Energy and Water Mullah Abdul Latif Mansour attended and delivered a speech at the graduation ceremony of Madrasa students and the announcement of exam results at the Khatimul Anbiya orphanage in Zermatt district of Paktia province. In his speech, the minister highlighted the virtue, importance and necessity of memorizing the Holy Quran and studying religious sciences, urging scholars and students to fulfill their responsibilities with sincerity and commitment. Meanwhile, the ambassador of the Islamic Emirate of Afghanistan in Turkey, Sheikh Saniullah Farahman, met with the Chinese ambassador to the host country. During the meeting, both sides discussed bilateral, cultural, political, economic and trade relations between Afghanistan and China. The Ministry of Industry and Commerce says Afghanistan exported over $222 million in dried fruits during the first 8 months of 2025, up from nearly $180 million in the same period last year, reaching markets in India, the UAE, Russia, China, Germany, Canada and other countries. More details in this report.
The Ministry of Industry and Commerce reports a significant rise in Afghanistan's dried fruit exports during the first 8 months of 2025 compared to the same period last year. Over $220 million worth of dried fruit were shipped to Russia, China, Canada, and United Arab Emirates and other international markets.
Afghanistan's dried food exports reached $222 million in the first 8 months of 2025. During the same period in the 2024, exports were valued about $179 million, with the major destination including India, Pakistan, the United Arab Emirates, Russia, China, the United Kingdom, Canada, Italy, and several other countries.
Meanwhile, the Kabul Dried Fruit Union says the rise in exports will open new marketing opportunities and help strengthen Afghanistan's presence in the global markets.
To further expand exports, attention must be given to improving product quality, adapting standard packaging, expanding transit routes, establishing affordable air corridors, and building stronger trust with international customers.
On the other hand, economic experts and traders say that further easing the dried fruit exports could boost production, drive economic growth, and create more jobs for Afghan citizens.
The government should support traders by providing necessary facilities, offering tax exemption and reducing customs tariffs, steps that would significantly boost exports level. Greater exports of Afghanistan dried food will not only strengthen the economy but also create more employment opportunities across the country.
Earlier, Mullah Abdul Ghani brother Akhand, Deputy Prime Minister for Economic Affairs, met with Ariana Airlines officials to facilitate the exports of fresh and dried fruit abroad. He also directed the airline to purchase 2 cargo planes to resolve long-term transport challenges, with funding provided by the Islamic Emirate.
Etihad Airways, the international airline of the United Arab Emirates, has announced the launch of direct flights between Kabul and Abu Dhabi. The airline stated on its X page that flights to Kabul will begin on December 18 of this year. The Ministry of Justice says that during the year 1446 AH, it has pursued cases related to public and state properties in the course of on behalf of the Islamic Emirate, resulting in verdicts in favor of the Emirate over tens of thousands of acres of land, hundreds of millions of Afghanis, and millions of dollars. According to the ministry, through the efforts of the General Directorate of State Cases, more than 43,000 acres of land, over 1.3 billion Afghanis, and nearly $13 million have been ruled in favor of the Islamic Emirate by the courts. Officials from the Ministry of Propagation of Virtue, Prevention of Vice and Hearing Complaints say that through the mediation of religious scholars and local elders, 2 family disputes have been resolved in Saripol and Jawzjan provinces. Local officials of the ministry in these provinces urge citizens to choose peace and understanding instead of violence and hostility during disputes, and to seek advice from religious scholars and community elders. And the final one reads that in Coast Province, pine nut production has tripled compared to last year. Officials say that while around 5,000 tons of pine nuts were harvested last year, this year's yield has reached 20,000 tons. That's all for now. Stay tuned to the latest news updates from RTA News. Thank you for watching.
شهیدانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور دا د باتورانو کور ساتوي پسرو وینو دا د شهیدانو کور دا